Day 6 of our quick start. We're going to talk a little bit about the overview of our system, and it's called the Perpetual Personal Training System. So whenever we have a potential client look into our service, they've gone through a phase at the start of our Perpetual Personal Training System that we consider an enlightenment or realization phase, where they think to themselves, what I'm doing is not working. And they start to explore their options. So that's the first step in our Perpetual Personal Training System, is to find out, what options exist and the ability to seek what might be a potential solution. So once a client goes through that process, they realize they need something different, they find us somehow, some way, typically word of mouth. They hear great things about us. Maybe their friend has just completely changed their life. They have an incredible change. Maybe their body fat composition dropped by 5% in 8 weeks or whatever it is. So they give us an opportunity to kind of be involved in their life. And once they come in, we want to find out a little bit more about them. We go through the consultation like you've been through, and then we want to get some baseline information. Again, just like you've already gone through. That baseline information is going to give us their baseline percent body fat, their body weight, their performance capability. We typically are going to look at simple things like a push-up or a plank, and then we also want to go through a functional movement screen. We want to see how your body's moving to determine what we need to do to help you, and it really creates that personalized approach. So that's the baseline assessment. We then go into a foundational phase, which means that do we need to look at nutrition? Do we need to make sure that there are stress-related issues, could be sleep and work-related issues. Then we're going to get into body work. Body work could be a follow-up from the actual baseline assessment, where someone needs to do some corrective exercise. Also included within body work might be prep things using a foam roll or stick work. And then you want to get into the optimal strength and conditioning, where you're actually applying the workouts to your life. And those workouts are obviously going to be modified to fit your needs, and we meet you where you are. So just because we have a workout on the board doesn't mean that that's appropriate for you. So the coach will modify to make sure that you're doing what is most appropriate. And then lastly on the board is the reassessment phase, where you want to reassess the change that has taken place typically within a 4-week period. And so this Perpetual Personal Training System is a 4-week loop. It's perpetual in nature. Once you get through that reassessment, you're going to see, hey, there's a great change. I want to keep it up. I want to keep going. Or, hey, there wasn't as much change as I want. I realize, and as you go back to that enlightenment, I realize that the change isn't exactly what I want, so I'm going to try to change something. So typically you're going to look at foundational things like, do I need to change my nutrition and eating habits? Do I need to get more sleep? What's happening in my life? Do I need to add more, of the optimal strength and conditioning? Maybe I need to do some running or some walking on off days. But it gives you that opportunity to kind of reflect upon what you just did for the previous 4 weeks to determine how you can modify things or just stay on track with what you're doing. So that's a quick overview of our Perpetual Personal Training System. It gives you all those elements within the system, and it's perpetual in nature, so it just keeps going and going and going, which lends itself to the data points that we take every month, typically at the end or beginning of the month, to see what kind of changes take place. So next up, we'll see you guys for video number 6, and we'll see you soon. Oops.